My dad was a pastor. Danielle, I had the great opportunity last night to be in a church service with my dad. And after the service, I went into the altar and I prayed because I'm old-fashioned like that. I believe when the word gives, I want to go and pray about it afterwards. And the word was so good. It was a wonderfully terrible message. It gripped my heart. It bothered me. And I went to the altar and I began to pray. And when I was praying, I was crying and I was snotty. And I guess they didn't expect that, so I didn't have a tissue. So I was going to the old school tissue, like that. And when I opened my eyes, I looked down and I saw a hand on the floor. And I recognized that hand. It was my dad. And I was so grateful to have a moment in the altar with my dad. And I want to tell you today that you can have an altar experience and you can have a time of worship and prayer with your children and your grandchildren. With all the baseball you're going to play, with all the sporting events you're going to do, all the cap and gowns you're going to wear, and tears you're going to cry of being proud. That's wonderful, wonderful things. There's going to be a time. There's going to be a time where you're going to run out of time to have those moments with your children. So do not let it slip away. You don't have to be perfect to get a hold of Jesus. Sometimes we don't do these things because we think, oh, this person is better, that I'm not as good, I'm not this. The Lord would. That's nonsense. It's just a trick. Pray with your children. Bring your kids to worship. If they succeed in life and they lose their soul, the Bible says, what profiteth a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?